In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that a laser or a GPS device can help you improve your game. Along with my channel partners ShotScope, we've come up with 5 ways that we think if you've got one of these devices, you're going to maximize the output from them and hopefully start improving your golf and see lower scores. Let's get stuck into the first one. So you may already know some of these points, but I think point number 4 and point number 5 are game changers. If you use these correctly, you will start to see that you are improving. But the first thing that you can do with your laser or your GPS to help you improve is all about obstacle avoidance. And what I mean by that is, I'm here on the 15th hole at the Duke's golf course. It's a semi-blind golf hole, and if you didn't know the course, you could maybe hit a pretty decent golf shot, but end up in some trouble out there, because out there are some hidden bunkers. With your laser, you'll be able to zap obstacles in the distance. So there's a bunker up on the left hand side, there's one up in the distance on the right hand side, and I could zap those and tell you that the bunker up on the distance is 270 yards. The short one here, if I zap that, is 126 yards to clear. But if I use my watch, what I will then see is that there is a hidden bunker at 175 yards to clear down the left-hand side of the fairway. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't actually seen what was on there. So if you're using your GPS watch, they're a great way if you are playing a lot of blind golf courses, or you're playing a golf course for the first time, to actually see what the trouble is that you're about to face in the hole that you're playing. And then you can try and make a plan there, because it is a long hole, this 423 yards, and it goes slightly uphill. But if I get my driver out and went pretty straight, I'm gonna maybe potentially end up in that bunker, so it can lead to better club selection. So now I'm going to hit a hybrid because it's a bit bouncy and it's not going to allow me to get up to that bunker at 270. It's also going to allow me to clear the bunker at 170. So tip number 1 is all about obstacle avoidance. Have a little plan for what you're about to face by either using your watch or lasering it to see what's out there in the distance. The second piece of advice is all to do with hitting into greens. Now, the percentage of golfers that leave the golf ball short of the green is staggering. Look at that number there. That is huge. So when you're using either your laser or your GPS, you can actually start to plan a little bit better and get a bit more informed as to what you're doing when you're hitting into a shot. We've got the pin up in the distance on the 15th hole here, and it is going up some elevation. Now the front of the green is 141 yards and the back of the green is 172, and I've actually been able to move the pin to roughly where I think it is, and that's one of the GPS features. It might not be exact, but you can get a rough estimate of where it is. So you've got that front, you've got the middle, and you've got the back. A lot of people generally play towards the front distance. We want to try and carry the ball all the way. We don't know how it's going to bounce sometimes. You might get a dead bounce, you might get a fiery one. You want to try and play it to a carry number when you're playing golf. Don't think of your total distance, think about carry. So the GPS is good in that sense. The laser, if you have something where you've got the on and off for the slope mode, if we pop it on and actually zap this pin now, I can see that from where we are, the flag's actually 155, but it's playing 162 yards because of that elevation change. So by getting maybe detailed information from a laser, or by just using front, middle and back, and I would always play to the middle and back differences, maybe split the difference, you can start to actually hit better shots into the green instead of being one of those high percenters who leaves it short all the time. So here, I was thinking it was 9-iron, I've gone up to 8, and now I should hopefully get up onto this green. And I tell you what, I'm glad I've chose 8, because I nearly became one of those percenters. I've just got the front portion of the green. So detailed information, go middle or back distances, or use that slope on a laser to get the true distance the hole is actually playing. Just before we get into the next tip, guys, ShotScope have been kind enough to give me an X5 to give away to one of my subscribers. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You do that down below, click the button. It's totally free to do. Loads more free tips for you. Leave us a comment as well, anything you want in the comment box, and also go and subscribe to ShotScope's channel as well. I'll leave that in the description, and you could be within a chance to win this beautiful little X5. Little note as well, if you see any of the scam messages like Telegram or anything, don't answer them. The winner will be posted on the last day of July on my community page. You won't be asked to message me in any way, shape or form via those comments. You'll just see it on the community page. Right, let's get back to the video and see how this could help you play better golf. The third thing that your GPS watch can help you with is all about layup distance. I've hit a terrible drive here and I've found myself in a pretty nasty lie. If you just come and have a look at how bad this ball sat, when I put that club in there, it is gnarly, it's tangly, I'm not going to be able to actually get the distance. So now that I'm 240 yards away, I know I'm not going to be able to hit my hybrid that I would want to from this distance because it's just not going to come out of there. So I'm going to have to try and lay up to a distance that I want to. And one of the things that I see amateurs do is sort of go, well, I'm in trouble, I'll just get it back out and play. If you can have a bit of a plan about how you want to lay up, how far you want to lay up, you can probably pick a yardage that you want to go to. So on something like this, you can use your watch to give you 3 different distances. Lay it up to 100 yards, 150 yards or 200 yards. And we can see there that I've got 145 yards I've got to hit it to leave myself 100 yards, 96 to leave 100, and I've only got to hit it 50 to leave 200. Now, because of how the lie is, that will dictate how far you can go. And I can go an all right distance out of here. It's still gnarly, so I'm going to take my lob wedge because I know if I smash this out of that lie down the middle of the fairway and get about 100 yards, it's going to leave me that nice number in. I'm going to have 150 left in, which I don't mind, as where sometimes it might be a wedge distance you're laying up to and you just whack it and you end up leaving yourself a half wedge that you don't like, as where if you knew your layup spot for 100, which is maybe a full pitching wedge for yourself, you could use that to get to a distance to actually give you a better chance of hitting a good shot on your next one. So take advantage of actually knowing how far you've got to get for your layup distance to put you back in play, go again and correct your mistake. That's come out pretty nicely out of that dodgy stuff, bouncing down there, and it's going to be somewhere near that 150. So use those layups wisely and you can actually rectify some problems that you put yourselves in. Tip number 4 is all to do with these little things in the end of the clubs. Now, when I speak to golfers, when I'm giving them lessons and I ask them for distances of how far they hit their golf clubs, some people must be pretty good who are playing off their handicaps that they tell me, because we tend to think of our best shots when we think of our distances. So if you've hit a 7-iron, that one Friday you were playing, it was a little bit downwind, a little bit downhill, and the flag was actually at 175 and you crunched it and it landed by it and stopped, that's the one that you always remember. You don't remember your average where you might catch it a little bit heavy or you get it a little bit thin and actually your 7-iron goes more to 150. That's what you want to work with, and that's the beauty of something like this where you're tagging each club and you're able to use the app and actually get more data and a performance average of how far you're actually hitting the golf ball. Because as I alluded to earlier, with especially hitting into greens, people are coming up short. It's generally because we're not using enough club. So if you've not got the ability to be using a TrackMan, a GC quad, or taking lessons with someone that has, and getting a gapping session done every month or every 6 months, having these tags in gives you a nice non-intrusive way of actually getting a distance and an average of how far you're hitting your clubs. So when you get to holes like this one, the 16th here at the Dukes, which is 198 yards, but playing 182 after zapping it with the laser, I can now actually select the right club. So I know that my 6-iron is in the 195 region, I think. So that's going to be the right club for me, because there's a little bit of wind, as where I may have think, oh well, 7-iron goes that far and I picked the wrong club. So by actually tagging, it gives you, like I say, the easiest way of actually getting the data of what's going out on the golf course. On the driving range, it's easy to hit it pretty well. There's no pressure, there's no obstacles, there's no real circumstance to the shots that you're hitting, as where out here, when it matters, you're more likely to maybe not swing with pace or be a little bit nervous and not get the right distances, and you'll know them over time, so then you can make better decisions when it comes to clubbing. And we could have a hole-in-one here. That is a beautiful thing. That's about 10 foot away, all because of the right distance. I love this golf club. I love it. And that is a pretty decent shot. And the fifth and final thing that your GPS or distance device can help you with is actually the app that it comes along with, because what it will do is give you detailed information about your game. It will give you areas of weakness and areas of strength. It will show you how many fairways you're hitting, how many greens you're hitting, how many putts you have, what your sand saves are looking like. And I think as golfers, we're all guilty on working on the things that we most enjoy. We probably shy away from the areas where actually if we put a bit of time and effort into those, we would see our game improve. And that's a good thing that having the tags will help you with. Once you've got the app in, and that's probably where I've enjoyed it the most, I can actually pinpoint where I need to get better. And also with the coaching platform that ShotScope now has, you're able to locate coaches who use the app as well, and then they can see your data and actually see which areas you need to improve on. Because that was one thing that I used to see a lot with coaching before this was, I need a drive lesson, I want to hit my driver better, and actually it was the putting that was letting you down. So by using detailed information that is there at your fingertips and it's so easy to collect, you're able to actually improve your game by working on the areas that you need to improve on. As well, you can benchmark yourself against other players, whether it's a 0 handicap, a 5 handicap, a 10 handicapper and onwards, and also enter into leaderboards with your mates and have a bit of a competition as well. If you have got the tag system, make sure you're utilising that app and really getting the most out of all the information you can get. Guys, so that has been 5 things that I think your GPS or your laser can help you with to help you improve your game. Go through them, tick them off, and make sure you're getting the most out of the device that you have. And if not, maybe think about investing in one, because they are brilliant and they will help you actually improve your golf. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video very soon.